All right, let's get right into it. Just outside the massive, sprawling metropolis of Tokyo, in the prefecture of Saitama, something really interesting is taking shape. It's this quiet but, well, pretty powerful movement, a new kind of localism. And we're going to explore it today through the lens of craft. This idea, which comes from a small brewery we're about to visit, is really the heart of this whole story. Imagine a world where beer isn't just something you buy, but something you're a part of. It's such a simple thought, but it completely challenges how we usually think about the things we consume. And this slide it lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the world we all know, mass production. It's efficient, sure, but it's anonymous, and everything is exactly the same no matter where you are. But on the other side, that's the craft model. We're talking small, careful batches, unique local flavors, and a real direct connection to the people making it. And that second world, that's where we're diving in today. So our first stop is a brewery that wants to turn every single glass of beer into a real conversation. Let's take a look at Akanuma Roman Brewing. Okay, so Akanuma is located in a city called Kasukabe, and its whole identity is literally forged from the local soil. Their signature move? They infuse every single beer they make with ancient red rice that's grown right there in their own community. And this is where it gets really cool, where they just tear down the walls between the brewer and the drinker. They were inspired by that hands-on American homebrew scene, so they invite you in. They actually want you to touch the malt, to smell the hops, to really get what's going into your glass. Their goal isn't just to sell you a beer, it's to get you so involved, so deeply and enjoyably involved, that your feedback might literally become their next new recipe. And that right there is the core of their entire philosophy. Knowledge actually deepens your appreciation. When you understand the why behind what you're tasting, the experience just becomes so much richer. It changes you from just being a passive consumer into an active participant in the whole thing. Now let's move on, because this idea builds. Our next case study is a business that's maybe less about the product itself and more about the space it helps create. So let's meet Unlock Brew BASE. This is the simple, powerful idea from the founders, Masanobu and Yoko Taguchi. They just wanted to create a place for their neighbors in Kasukabe to unwind, a spot for that well-deserved drink after a really long day. They call it their secret base, and it is intentionally small. It only seats about 15 people. The whole vibe is cozy, it's intimate, with dim lighting and walls made from reclaimed materials. This is not some loud, sprawling bar. Think of it more like a neighborhood living room, built with the very specific mission of bringing connection and life back to their part of town. And that's the absolute key here. It's what sociologists call a third space. It's not home and it's not work. It's that vital third place where community is actually built. So they're not just selling craft beer. They're in the business of facilitating human connection. But this craft spirit, this mindset, it isn't just limited to brewing. So let's switch gears a bit and see how this exact same philosophy can apply to something much, much simpler. We're heading over to Omiya to visit a place called Rimon Douf. It's a specialty shop that absolutely proves the craft ethos is a mindset, not just a certain type of product. And their chosen medium? Pudding. Regimondo is just a masterclass in focus. They do one thing, but they do it with an incredible amount of intention. They obsess over their ingredients. The rich flavor of the egg is the star of the show. They use a special mineral-rich brown sugar, not just for sweetness, but for a deeper, more complex flavor. And of course, there are absolutely no additives. It's pure quality distilled into one perfect, simple design. So what does a brewery that wants you involved, a community tap room, and a perfectionist pudding shop all have in common? Well, it turns out they're all kind of following the same blueprint. When you look at them all together, this shared pattern just pops right out. It starts with something tangible and local, right? Like Akanuma's red rice. Then it's built on a passionate belief system, like Unlock's mission to create that third space for the community. And finally, it all thrives by forging a genuine, quality-driven connection with customers, just like Rimondufo does with every single perfect pudding they sell. And this is why this whole thing matters, way beyond Japan. This trend we're seeing in Saitama, it's a local expression of a global feeling. It's this quiet rebellion against the anonymous and the mass-produced. It's a growing desire we all have for products and places that feel authentic, that have a real story, and most importantly, a human connection. Which, leaves us with one final thought, whether it's a baker, a coffee roaster, or a woodworker. These small-scale creators are everywhere. So the real question is, what hidden gems and untold craft stories are just waiting to be discovered right where you live?